Hello guys, I am Hardik Soni from College Dhirubhai Ambani Institute of Information and Communication Technology based in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. I am gonna today show you how software testing and quality analysis on our project, which is Coffee Maker project. Our instructor is Professor Saurabh Tiwari, and course name is ID345. So JUnit testing we are using a platform of Eclipse for using a JUnit which has inbuilt JUnit testing thing. We are basically two members, Devang Patel and me as Hardik Soni. Now, so basically, GUnit is a regression testing framework used by developers to implement unit testing in Java to accelerate program speed and increase quality of code. JUnit framework can be easily integrated with many things like Eclipse and Maven. So further, uh, we gonna our thoughts of JUnit is promote the idea of first testing then code, which implements or setting up a test data for a piece of code which is based be tested first and can be implemented. So I'm gonna tell you about our coffee maker project in furthermore in video in the further. Our coffee maker program makes coffee it has attributes and classes like add recipe add recipe add inventory and it has different units like inventories like milk, chocolate and coffee, etc, etc. You will get to know that in the later on in the video. And we would like to we will give a demo of our program in this video, and we will first state the pros of and cons of using a JUnit. JUnit provides a annotation to identify the test methods, provides assertion for testing expected result, provides test runner for running test. JUnit test allows you to write code faster, which increase quality. JUnit is elegantly simple, it is less complex and takes less time. JUnit tests can be run automatically and they check their own result and provide immediate feedback. JUnit tests can be organized into test suites and contain test cases and even other suites. JUnit shows the test process in a bar that is green if test case is going fine and turns red while test case fail. Unit test and the cons of unit is unit test only test the functionality of a unit themselves. Unit tests cannot check error that occur on the integration level, even though the most bugs found may be due to integration between two classes or two applications. So further, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna download Eclipse and download Eclipse and furthermore how we gonna implement our code. So basically in this video I'm gonna show you first how we gonna download our Eclipse Java from internet. So first we'll open Google Chrome and we'll go to Google, download Eclipse ID Windows 7 64-bit. So we'll see that we have a link here first which shows Eclipse Java IDE for Java EE developer. This is official site for Eclipse. So when I click on that, you can see that there are so many versions for Eclipse for Mac, Linux, Windows, different types of versions. So I'm gonna click on my Windows 64-bit. So when I click on that, you can see that there is a download is going on. I guess it will be a zip file which will get downloaded soon. So when your download gets over, and when you open this zip file, you will see the full Eclipse version like this, and in this way you can download your first Eclipse, Juno Eclipse. So now I will show you how you will once you get your Eclipse in your laptop, you will get files in zip file. You can extract them into desktop in some folder. Like I have extracted them in some folder named Java on desktop. You can see these files while you extract the files. So first, when you want to open your Eclipse, first you will double click on this icon named Eclipse. It will run like this. This is Eclipse Juno, which is latest version of Eclipse. So it will ask you for your workspace. My workspace is already there. If I click OK, it's showing cannot be created, choose a different one. Okay, so I will browse and make a new folder, like anything like JJJ. Okay, and okay, so here it starts. So we can see our Eclipse getting load. So this is how our Eclipse Juno looks like at the first place. So we can see there are many starting tutorials, overview on Eclipse, samples, what's new in Eclipse, which will show you how the new in this new version of Eclipse Juno. There are tutorials. Let me see. There are tutorials about create a hello world application, create a Eclipse plugin, create a hello world SWA application, check out CWS project, like this. Then there are sample projects, multi-page editor shows how to create an editor with the multiple pages, demonstrate how to use property sheet and outline. Then there is an overview, Java editor, readme tools, workbench, view, overview. Let me click on overview. It's not responding properly. So okay, overview, workbench, team support, Java development, Eclipse plugin development. So once you are start with this Eclipse thing, and you want to make a first your hello world program, what you're gonna do is gonna make a new file. You're gonna make Java project. You can name it anything like testing 456. Next, finish. In this way you can create your first Java project. it should. So guys, in this video I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna make first Java program in our Eclipse Juno. So first of all, we'll make new Java project as I told you before. So we made testing 456 project. So now we want to print hello world in our Java program. So what we're gonna do is we go to this package explorer and we right click on the our project and select a new class. You can name your class anything, like I'll give name as AR. So you can see the class has been made. So what I'm gonna do is now I have made the public class AR public static void main string system out dot print hello world. So once you are done with your typing of your code, so now you wanna execute your code and wanna see does it run or not, or does it shows error, or does it print hello world actually. So what you're gonna do is you gonna go to this button and you're gonna when you're gonna click it, this will show you to select your class, and you can select multiple class to run your program, but we're gonna select only one class right now. So it is already marked here, and then we are gonna, when we will press OK, it will ask in our worksheet proceed to launch. So always launch without asking and proceed. So you can see in console that we have typed the right program to print hello world, so it has print hello world. You can even change anything in this thing, like hi testing 1 2 3, how are you. See, and again you go to the run, select ar.j, OK, and you can see we have print the hi testing 1 2 3, how are you. So in this way you can type many type of programs by making a class in your default project in your testing. So this is the way you can print and execute many programs at the same time and many classes at the same time in your same project. And this is how our first project will be made. So in that video I'm gonna show you how we gonna use JUnit as a testing option. So what we are gonna do is we're gonna go to new. Eclipse has its own JUnit, so you can make your own test unit and test your program. So it has own plugins which will be already installed in Eclipse Juno. So you just have to go to new and click on the JUnit test case. You can give any name like sample test case. So tested, finish, and you can see the sample test case has been made. Again, JUnit. We can even select all the methods. Sample test case 2. Next, this will show you which method you wanna use in your JUnit testing. So I'm gonna mark all for so we can get all the method as a to test our program. So you can see I got a board stating org JUnit assert star. So you can see we get all the JUnits, test equal, test notifier, test notify all. In this way we can create our JUnit testing. So in this way we can manage our this is sample test case. So in this video I'm gonna show you how our use case diagram will be for coffee maker program. So here is our use case diagram. This is user, this is waiting state, this is add recipe, add inventory, purchase beverages, check inventory, delete recipe. So first we will go from our waiting state. This is the first use case diagram for our waiting state. So in this state, first the precondition is none. The main flow for this waiting state is the coffee maker waits for user input. There are 6 options to choose from: add recipe, delete recipe, edit recipe, add inventory, check inventory, and purchase beverages. The second use case for our coffee maker program is add recipe. You can see that there is add recipe use case diagram from waiting state. So in this use case diagram, the precondition also is none. The main flow for this is the user selects the menu option to add a recipe. The user enters the name, unit coffee, unit sugar, unit milk, and unit chocolate that make up the recipe. There are no subflows for this use case, and the alternative flows are there. The first alternative flow is if there are already 3 recipes in the system, then the new recipe may not be added. The user return to the main menu. The second alternative flow will be the price must be integer. If the price is not an integer, then a status message is printed and the user is returned to the main menu. The third alternative is the unit of coffee, sugar, milk, and chocolate must be integers. If the unit value on any of ingredients is not an integer, a status message is also printed and user will be returned to the main menu again. The fourth alternative will be the price and the unit of ingredients must be positive. If any number is negative, a status message is printed and the user is returned to the main menu. The last fifth alternative flow is if the name of the new recipe already exists in the system, the new recipe will not be added. So now we will see our third use case diagram for use case delete recipe. You can see delete recipe here from waiting state. The precondition is also none here. The main flow is user will be shown a list of all the recipes in the system and asked to choose a recipe by number that they wish to delete. There are subflows. There are only one subflow for this, and it is a message is printed describing the successful deletion of the selected recipe. There are alternative flows for there are almost 3 alternative flows for this use case. The first is if the user selects a number that is our out of bound of the number of recipe, the user is returned to the main menu. The second alternative is if the user enters the alphabetic character, the user will again return to the main menu. The third alternative flow will be like if the user selects any empty recipe to delete, the user is returned to the main menu. Now we will jump to our fourth use case, which is flow of events of edit recipe. You can see there is a edit recipe flow from user to waiting state. The main flow for this edit recipe is the user will be shown a list of all the recipe in the system and asked to choose a recipe by number that they wish to edit. So after unit chocolate, and there are no subflows in this edit recipe. There are at least 6 alternative flows for this use case. If the user selects a number that is out of bound of the number of recipe, the user is returned to the main menu. The second is if the user enters a alphabetic character, again the user is returned to the main menu. The third is the price must be integer. If the price is not a number, then the status message is printed and user is returned to the main menu. The fourth alternative is the units of coffee, sugar, milk and chocolate must be integers. If the unit value of any of the ingredients is not integer, a status message is printed and the user will be returned to main menu. The fifth alternative is the price and the unit of the ingredients must be positive. If any number is negative, a status message is printed and the user is not returned to the main menu. If the user selects an empty recipe to edit, the user returns to the main menu. Now we will jump to our fifth use case diagram, which is flow of events of add inventory, which is here. So in this the precondition is none. The main flow for this is the user will be prompted for the units of each of the 4 ingredients they wish to add to the inventory. There are no subflows for this inventory, and if there are alternative flows, there are 2 alternative flows actually. If the user selects a number that is negative or a non-negative integer, the user will be reprompted for the amount. And the second alternative is like if the user enters an alphabetic character, the user will be reprompted for the amount. The sixth flow of event for the check inventory use case is check inventory. You can see the check inventory from waiting state to user. So in this use case, the precondition is none. The main flow for this check inventory use case is user will be shown a listing of inventory of ingredients in the coffee maker. There are no subflows and there are no alternative flows for this user case. And now we'll jump to our 7th and the last use case, which is purchase beverages. So this is the purchase beverages use case. You can see from waiting to user to so in this use case, the main flow is the user will select a beverage that they wish to purchase. The user will deposit money to pay for the beverage. There are also subflows for this use case. The first is the coffee maker will check if there are enough ingredients in the inventory to make the selected drink, and the second is the coffee maker will make sure enough money was deposited so the average the beverage will be dispensed and extra change will be returned. There are alternative flows also for this use case, and there are only two alternative flows. If there The first is, if there is not enough inventory to make the beverages, a message will be displayed, the user money will be returned, and the user will be returned to the main menu. And the last alternative flow for this user case is, if user does not enter enough money, their money will be returned and the user will be again returned to the main menu. So this is how our coffee maker system works for user case, from waiting state to add recipe to add inventory to purchase beverages to check inventory to add recipe and delete recipe. So this is how our use case diagram for this system.
So this is our code for a coffee maker. Here we have four classes: main, coffee maker, recipe, and inventory. In the main class we have object called coffee maker. Then we are giving seven choices for you to choose. One first is add recipe, delete a recipe, edit a recipe, add inventory, check inventory, make coffee, and exit. Here we are giving input. If you want to choose add recipe, then you can press 1, 2, 3, and that's so. First, here in the add recipe, we can add recipe, we can add the price of the recipe, we can add how many units we want to add in the coffee, milk, sugar, and chocolate. Then after that, in the delete recipe function, we can delete a recipe. Then add inventory. In add inventory, we can add the in things that we want to like to add in, like milk, sugar, chocolate, and therefore so. In the class coffee maker, here we have array of recipe in the coffee maker and the number of recipe in the coffee maker and inventory of the coffee maker. Then after that, if the recipe is successfully added to the coffee maker, then it returns the true, otherwise it returns the false. Check for an empty recipe, then recipe to the first empty spot. Our class here recipe consists of integer price, string name, amount of coffee, amount of milk, amount of sugar, amount of chocolate. Then we are taking into account how much of chocolate we want, and then we can set amount to that. Same goes for coffee, milk, and the sugar. Then we can get the string, then we can name what our recipe should be. Here in inventory, we are setting coffee, milk, sugar, and chocolate to the default amount of 15.
Now I'm gonna show you how in Eclipse we gonna implement JUnit. So Eclipse come with the JUnit built-in function. You can see that, you can see here, you can make JUnit classes and make your own JUnit unit testing thing. Test driven development becomes very easy to organize and implement. The class that you will want to test is created first, so that Eclipse will be able to find that class is when you will build the test case class. The test case are built with the needed imports and extension to get JUnit to run. Once the test case class is built, the actual test case class are then coded in the programmer. Like you can see, we have a coffee maker main program, coffee maker test case program. See, it's the same. We have inventory, add inventory program, which has all the function of inventory, adding like add inventory, milk, units of coffee, units of sugar, units of chocolate, coffee inventory, milk inventory, sugar inventory, chocolate inventory. We get all the functionalities here, and we have this main thing where there is a recipe, purchase beverages recipe, name, user money. We will make different class, and it will set the amount and to make the perfect recipe. So you can see the recipe class is also here. There are few more which we already have made. Inventory main, there is a main. So in this main, we can see that read in amount coffee, starting on coffee string, and we have all the functionalities like delete recipe. We have function for that. We have set some rules which ingredient will be recipe will be deleted from a coffee maker. And then we have also we have unit test. We have unit test for coffee maker. So you can see the kind of test cases are there. We have Junit framework test case, coffee maker test case, private recipe with R1, R2, R3, R4, which will be our test cases. So each test case have a different value of price, different value of coffee, different value of milk, and it will check it is integer value or other thing, or same like each recipe for the test case has a different set of integers and different set of values for different set of functions like name, price, coffee, and sugar and chocolate. So in this case we will delete, edit recipe, check inventory, will all see the different types of function will work here. So when you want to run your test case, what you gonna do is you gonna go to run, and you gonna select your test case. Like here we are checking for coffee maker test, so we gonna uncheck all the other test cases, and we will select only coffee maker, and we will proceed now. So as you can see, the test case is finished. Here because of some problem, all the test case has failed to run, and the all test case has ran properly, but they have failed because of these are the warnings which has in which they had failed in this case. The same like we will see for recipe test. So in this recipe test we have set the perfect things like hot chocolate, coffee maker recipe, and other things. So what we are gonna do is we're gonna run this test case in recipe test case. So we're gonna unselect all other test cases and OK and proceed. So in this case you can see that the test case has passed. There are no errors and it has ran properly. So this test case is passed properly to in this code. So in this way you can even check the other test case, like we have already checked coffee maker test case, purchase beverages recipe test and inventory test. So this was not test yet. Inventory extent test is what there are 2-3 recipes, so it will check the inventory, new inventory, or coffee enough ingredient are there or not to make the exact coffee. To run this test case, again we will do the same thing which we did before. We will do inventory test and select the other one. We'll proceed, and you can see this test case has also passed with the zero failure and zero error. So in this way, with the G unit in Eclipse, you can test the classes and test each and every thing, and every recipe and every inventory, every purchase beverages. We have also made some other unit testing, and we have made JUnit libraries, and we have made all the program. So you can even see we can run total all the recipe, all the program at the same time. Like just go to the program and run as Java application. So this will basically run your program. So you can see that in console we can run from this on also. We can run our program. So our program has ran properly, and you can see in the output area there is a welcome to coffee maker. You can choose anything like add recipe, delete recipe, edit recipe, add inventory, check inventory, exit, and many more things. So I'm gonna show you now how we gonna run our program and check. So as I showed you, this is showing welcome to the coffee maker program. You can see console. Wait a second. Okay, so here is the console where you can see it has asking me to add recipe, delete recipe, edit a recipe, add inventory, check inventory, make a coffee. So first we are gonna press 1 and see what happens. So it is asking us the name of the recipe. We have many names for the recipe. We'll press latte. So you can add anything, when you are adding a recipe, you don't need to be specific. So then they are asking us please enter the price for the recipe. So I'm gonna do it randomly, like 80. Please enter the units of coffee in the recipe. So it is asking how much coffee we need in our recipe. I'm gonna write 3. Basically how much milk we need in, so milk for 1 and sugar for like we 10 cubes, so 10. Please enter the chocolate. So chocolate, so latte, so chocolate is will be 1. So you can see it has latte has successfully been added to our recipe list. In this way, and now I'm gonna show you. We'll now try to delete some recipe like two. So it has no it has four showing me those show we have just added a fourth recipe named latte, so we gonna delete that recipe like so we I am gonna type 4 here. So latte has successfully been deleted from here. So now we gonna try our third option, which is edit a recipe. So I'm gonna type 3 here. So there are 4 recipe here is showing. So I'm gonna go for again for latte 4. So it has accessing me to edit the recipe I just added before as latte. So I am gonna change the name to chocolate. I can also change the price like 90. I can also change the price units, milk also. So unit of milk like 22 to what you would like to. Okay, sugar we want is like 10, and chocolate will be extra chocolate, so 50. So latte could not be edited because there might be some problem because chocolate must be poor or something, not integer value or something. So that does make our one of the test case. And while now we are gonna check we gonna check the fifth check the inventory. So I'm gonna type 5. So I'm gonna, so in this video I'm gonna type 5. So check the inventory. So again it is showing. We're gonna run it again. So 5 will check the inventory. So 5 will coffee is equal to 15. We have took everything default as a 15 like coffee, milk, chocolate, sugar and everything. We have taken everything as a 15. So whenever we add or delete something after that, that will add to 15 or minimize from the 15 which is already default value. And so now we gonna type 6 here. So we have typed 6. So when I'm gonna enter 1, it will ask me the name of the recipe. So when I enter the any integer, it will accept it, but when I write any character in the price menu, it will not accept it, and it will ask me to input an integer. So this makes a test case like to put only an integer value in recipe or anything else. So you can see also that when I run it again. So when I type 1, which is integer, wait a second. So when I type 1, it will ask me the name of the recipe. So when I am doing adding any integer value in the recipe name as well as alphabet with it, the problem is that the program is accepting the integer value as well as alphabet value which is not properly valid for coffee name. So this test case has test case has passed, but the value is invalid, which is not proper. So it is indirectly incorrect. In this way you can make many test cases, like you can check that, like in inventory, when we run it again and we type inventory, press the please enter the nets of coffee to add. So if I add 500, it will add in inventory, uh, but it will not check properly whether it is adding or. So in this video I'm gonna explain you the sequential diagram for our coffee maker problem. So in this sequential diagram you can see that there are four states. There is a student who is gonna make coffee, and then there will be main program. There is a coffee maker class, there is an inventory class, and a recipe class. So first, when we will the student from the student, it will add recipe. So it will go to main, and it has no connection with the coffee maker and inventory. So it will directly go to the recipe block to add a recipe. The second flow, to add a inventory, the it will go to first main. It will fetch data from main to add inventory, integer, boolean. It will go to coffee maker state. The coffee maker state has different type of attributes like chocolate, coffee, milk, sugar. So what is gonna do is it's gonna set the amount of chocolate, the set amount of coffee, set amount of milk, and set sugar. The all will be in integers, and it will be directed to inventory. It will fetch a data from to inventory block, and it has no connection with the recipe block. The third and the last state, in this state, to make coffee, the state is flow is to make coffee. it will go to a main state, and a main state will be directed to make coffee with a recipe in an integer. So in this state we will have many things will be directed to inventory and will be directed to recipe block. Like this is directed to inventory block, and these are directed to recipe block. So now you can see that we will in this coffee maker state will first get price which is direct to recipe block, enough ingredients which is directed to inventory block, get coffee which will show the which will get the coffee from the inventory, get amount of coffee which is required to make a coffee which is suggested here. Then we will set the coffee ingredients particular to make a exact coffee as a coffee maker program. So after that we will get a chocolate from the inventory block in this field, and then we will get the amount of coffee which is required to make from the recipe of the coffee, and after that we will set a chocolate in the inventory bar after getting the all the data from coffee. Then we will jump for the milk. So first we will get milk from inventory block, and then we will what we are going to do is the same way we will get amount of milk which is required to make a perfect recipe for coffee, and after returning we will set the milk remaining milk to the inventory. Then after that we will lastly add sugar. So we will get a sugar amount from the inventory, and then we will go to the recipe book, and we will get the amount of sugar which is required to make a perfect coffee. So after that we can see that we will get the sugar in integer, and after that state we will get the sugar, we will set the sugar amount in the inventory box. So this is how our whole sequential diagram will work from student to main to coffee maker to inventory to recipe. So these are the states where we and in how we'll get the information, get the price, and get the integer value from inventory, and we'll receive it after we make the total recipe for coffee. So now I'm gonna show you our test cases and how it works. We have made some rough test cases here to show you how our system is gonna work. So you can see the first there are test cases. So inventories may be added to machine at the time. The types of inventory in the coffee maker are coffee, milk, sugar, chocolate, and inventory measured in the units. No inventory may be taken away from the coffee maker. So first we gonna add inventory. So so when we first add inventory, what it does is start coffee maker head inventory, enters the units of coffee 3, units of milk 5, units of sugar 6, units of chocolate 7. So basically we have taken every inventory default as 15. So when we add coffee inventory 3 here, so units of 3 units of coffee, so the and at the end of the coffee inventory it will be 18. The same way when we add 5 units of milk in the inventory, the default is 15. So 15 plus 5 it will make 20. So same way goes for the chocolate and sugar. uh, so now when we add recipe acceptance test, so only 3 recipes may be added to the coffee maker. You cannot add more than 3 recipe in our coffee maker program. So you have to delete it, or you have to edit it. So name, price, and so when you can see that we will add first 3 recipes in our program, like start the recipe name coffee. So it will add the recipe as true. So this is the first. The second we will add recipe name as latte. It will add the recipe as the second recipe, and it will get acceptance test as true. And we will add the third recipe named hot chocolate, which will add the recipe also, because we can add 3 recipes. So it will also accept this recipe, and it will goes for true. Now we have reached the limit of 3 maximum recipe we can add. So when we now start to add the 4th recipe named mocha, it will not accept it will accepted the false, because we have made clear that but the test case has passed, so it shows true actually. So it goes false, because you can only add 3 recipes in your coffee maker table. After that, check inventory acceptance test. In this acceptance test, inventory may be checked at the time this the units of each item in the inventory will be displayed. So in this is a very normal thing. So you can see when you add check inventory, when you start and you check coffee inventory, it will show normally coffee inventory, milk, sugar. This is the normal test case which doesn't contain any other things. So now we'll go for a delete or acceptance test, delete recipe. Or this acceptance test is which will delete the recipe from our coffee maker program. A recipe may be deleted from the coffee maker program if it exists in the list of recipe of the coffee maker. The recipe to be deleted is chosen by its name. So once you add the name of the recipe to delete in this thing, as we added the recipe to coffee, because it delete the recipe, but we don't have any recipe named coffee, so it will show false, because you cannot add a recipe named coffee. So first you have to what you have to do is you have to add a recipe named coffee and add its units, price and everything, and then you again type coffee to recipe to delete, and it will show you the true, because we have just added the new recipe named coffee. After that we go to edit recipe acceptance test. This test case is all about editing the already the editing the recipe of which is already in our coffee maker. Recipe may be edited in the coffee maker. The user will be prompted for the name of which recipe they wish to edit. Then they will be asked to re-enter the recipe information. The recipe name may not be changed to name of any other recipe in the recipe list. So when you first go to recipe to edit and add coffee, but if the coffee is not already there in the three recipe of coffee maker, it will show you false positive. So the test case will fail. And after that, when you add a recipe named coffee and make a new recipe in that, and after that you replace uh, the coffee to name, it will allow you to change the name of the change the price and units of the coffee recipe, and so it will finally show you the true, because the when we have already added a coffee recipe here and the units. So after that you can see we have changed the things, chocolates units and other things. So after that I'm gonna show you for the purchase test. So purchase test, beverages acceptance test. This user will not be able to purchase a beverage if they do not deposit enough money into a coffee maker. Change will be dispensed to the user if they paid more than the price of the beverages. A user money will be returned if there is not enough inventory to make beverages. There are three recipes in the coffee maker: coffee 50, 110, latte 75, and hot chocolate. These are the main. So money. These are the price for the three different type of coffee, and these are the units of inventories we need to make a coffee. So once you start coffee maker, and once recipe name coffee and user money enters 55, it will purchase a beverage in 5 rupees, and recipe name, because the coffee is of 50 rupees. So again purchase a beverage, recipe name coffee, user money 45, purchase beverage 45. So once it is not proper amount for the coffee, it will not be allowed to purchase any beverages if the amount is do not enough money to into a coffee maker. So in this way we can test our each function for edit recipe, delete recipe, check inventory acceptance, and the number of inventory you can add or delete, or add recipe acceptance. So in the end the milk and inventory will be updated as after adding into 15 or decreasing from the 15 counter. So this is how our coffee maker test case will be made. So thank you for listening.